everyone, and welcome to the University Sew Paige Blouse tutorial part 3. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're ready to sew the back to the front. In the last video, we top stitched the hem of the back. And we top stitched the hem of the front from that corner to that corner like so. Okay, now we're going to sew the side seams. So the first step is to take your front piece and face it up with right sides facing up like so. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to move the ties out of the way like so. Okay, so next take your back piece and put it on top of your front piece with right sides together. Okay, and just make sure you lay it nice and flat. Okay, so when you were cutting this out, you should have marked an important dot. Okay, it's gonna be right here. This is where your slit will begin. So right there. So now we're ready to pin the side seam. So just get your pins and you're gonna pin from there all the way to that dot. Okay. So just make sure that all your layers are all lined up nicely. Make sure that your tie is flat underneath. Like so. And when you get over here, just make sure that your seam allowance of your slit is laying flat because you're going to stitch just to that dot right there. Okay, so now you're ready to sew your side seam. After you are done pinning your one side seam, it should look like this. And after you're done sewing it with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, it should look like this. Okay, so here we have the one side seam that we have sewn. We sewed it from here all the way to this dot right here. Okay, so now you can remove your pin. And the next thing we're going to do is press our slit. So just open up your front and back pieces like so and just lay them flat like so. And now you can push the tie to the front, just kind of getting it out the way there. Because right now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the slit. Okay. So just take one side of your slit, fold it under, and press it. Okay, now do the same with the other side. Just fold it under and press it. Nice and easy. And if you want to, you can continue and just press the side seam open. Just making sure that the ties and everything are pushed out of the way. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did the last time. We're going to start here, sew, pivot, and come all the way down. But before we do that, we have to remark our slit marking right there, the dot there. So I'm going to use a fabric marker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look on this side to see where the dot was and just remark it right there so that way I know where to start. Okay, again, start here, pivot, and come all the way down like what we did with the keyhole. Now we're going to top stitch our slit one side at a time. So sink your needle in that dot that you marked. Position your fabric diagonally on your sewing machine. Back stitch and sew all the way to this edge here. Sink your needle in, lift up your presser foot, pivot the fabric so that your fabric is straight now, and then just sew all the way straight down. Stop it right at where your hem top stitches, like so. So now you're ready to sew the other side. Here is another photo of the top stitch I just completed. So now we will do this side. You're going to do the same thing, sink your needle in that dot you marked. Position the fabric diagonally on your sewing machine. Back stitch. Come to the edge. You can hand crank it to the edge if you need to. Pivot the fabric so that it's straight now. And then just sew straight all the way down to where your hem top stitch meets, like so. This is the slit finished. Now you can do the other side seam and slit. Okay, so just a little recap here. This is what the blouse should look like with both sides finished. We did our side slit here, and we also did our side slit on this side. So I'll turn this inside out and quickly show you what you should have done to the other side. Okay. So again, you would have sewn from here all the way to the dot you marked. And then after that, you would have pressed each side of your slit and top stitch from here, here, and then all the way down to there. And then from here, there, and all the way down to there. Okay? So now, after you're done all of that, we will work on the shoulder seams next. So here we have the shoulder seams that we're going to sew. Okay, so the first step is going to be to turn your blouse inside out so that you will have right sides together. Okay, so with right sides together, we will pin both layers because we're going to be sewing a seam here. Okay, you could put a pin here, and then one at the end here, and then one in the middle. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Match it up and pin it. Then one in the middle. Okay, so we will go to the sewing machine and stitch across here like so with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. After you are done sewing the shoulder seams, it will look like this. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out part 4.